Hey peeps, we are back. We are talking the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 3, Episode 7. Hey, before we get into the video, please do me the honors of subscribing to my channel, hitting the notification bell so you can always be notified when I post new content, hitting the thumbs up because that does wonders for my channel, and share. Thanks. So I apologize about this video being so late. I have been a little under the weather, so I waited till I started to feel a little bit better before making this video. So on to the show. So the show picks up right where we left off. You know, Jen has an attitude. She is extremely pissed off. How the hell is it that Angie is here for these auditions? How dare she show up? And I am a little confused by Jen's behavior. She saw Angie at the ski thing with Heather, and she didn't have this reaction to Angie. She talked to Heather a couple days later and told Heather about the situation with Angie and Angie's husband, and she made the comment that she spoke with Angie and her husband and that both of them apologized. But yet she gets down here to this gospel choir audition and blows up and acts a fool in front of all these people who are here to sing the gospel. I don't understand why she had to turn this into such a huge circus. But then again, we are talking about Jen Shah.
Wait a second. You're telling me that Chris, a grown-ass man, created a Finsta account to troll Lisa? I feel really icky and silly right now, being in a matching costume with Angie.
I'm glad you're standing there with a smirk on your face. This is like smirk.
Guys, you are.
Okay, you need to take some accountability. Why? Because that's your husband. Shut up and let me talk. Because I am responsible for Sharif does, and vice versa.
Sir, you're being accused of right now. Is Sharif taking for it?
I'm innocent.
Amazing grace.
What is going on? And he talked to you about it. He took accountability and talked to you about it.
He did it because I asked about it.
Jen Shah is in a washing machine of turmoil because she's been indicted on federal charges with a prison sentence looming. Not because she's getting trolled by Chris Harrington. Away in a manger.
What do you miss most about your friendship with Lisa?
Not a lot, Lori.
When the saints go marching in. You are the worst friend. The only reason you're with Angie Harrington is because you think her fat elf on the shelf husband is gonna feed you and put you on a yacht.
She's literally sitting on your lap. Like, you might as well breastfeed her.
She used her dad's death to lie about me. Well, the truth is you have no friends left, Lisa. Who's not my friend here? Raise your hand.
Grown man would stoop this low. What these people will never understand is that which straw breaks the camel's back, which post is the one that causes you to say, I'm tired of it, and then hurt yourself or do something that you can't come back from.
What's wrong with my style?
It's a little Utah. I have done nothing for anyone to say in the most ridiculous, childish way, who doesn't want to be friends with Lisa?
Like when Justin was fired, like you didn't call me.
I didn't know Justin was fired. You feel like you're stuck in between loyalty to Lisa or me?
No. The whole Twitter thing came out of nowhere. And I was upset with her about that too. But she also felt like she's defending herself. And I can't argue that.
And I love that you're bringing up how right she was with the way
not
she
what
hurt
I'm
me.
doing. I'm
Okay,
trying
just
to
listen to
understand.
me. You want to walk in and be like, not only are you a bad friend, but you also have completely ignored me in a huge crisis, which is unfair and untrue.
I'm in trouble for a rumor I never heard. I'm in trouble for a horrible event in your life that I didn't know about. I'm sorry that I am not well-versed in the gossip mill. So tired, I'm done. Thanks for coming.
Done.
Trying
I've
to
done my
navigate
job
the
today, and my
situation.
thanks to everyone for.
Again, I have to say, shady editors, I love you so much. When they phased off and went to Amazing Grace, every time I see that, it makes me laugh. And I have to rewind. That is hilarious. Okay, so I'm going to be all over the place because, you know, that's how I do. So Whitney talking about how embarrassed she is and talking about how this grown-ass man created this fake Finsta account to harass Lisa and Jen. I laughed a little because I thought, your grown ass husband didn't think anything was wrong with those cringy love scenes, but something was wrong with it clearly, because now he's unemployed, you know. But luckily I did see them on Watch What Happens Live, and he said that they are comfortable, they are fine. He is sitting out a non-compete clause, and he is being paid by his former employer to sit out this non-compete. So I'm pretty sure that's a decent sum of money, and they are doing a-okay. You know something else? She shouldn't only be embarrassed that she is standing there wearing that outfit because of Angie's husband. She should just be embarrassed that she is there wearing that outfit, period. You and Angie are grown-ass women. You see these younger kids standing in line auditioning. They're not wearing these crazy outfits. You and Angie just wanted to be seen, clearly. And if you are so upset about Angie and her being such a big liar, again, I ask, what are you doing with Angie? Not only with her, why did you work with her to create this dance routine? I mean, they are too much. They are out here doing all this screaming in front of these people, yelling and cussing at the top of their lungs. Heather comes out there, and I agree with Heather 100%. You told me that you already talked to them and that they already apologized. Now, I'm not saying that you have to just get over it, but what I am saying is this is my audition. I have paid to rent this building. I have 1,600 judges here and 5 people auditioning. What you are going to do is grow the hell up, sit down and shut up and act responsible. If you and Angie want to have a conversation, take it off the premises. I'm working here. I'm trying to get this choir put together because we're going to have performances. And Heather was right in her comments. Jen is not acting a fool because this grown-ass man is harassing her online. She's acting an immature fool because she is going through something serious and she is facing up to 30 to 50 years in jail. You know, Jen screaming at the other Angie to shut the hell up while Angie is trying to help you. Angie is a much nicer woman than I will ever be, because Jen would have got popped. Get out of my face with this. I'm trying to help you. And I think that Angie... K, I think her initials are K, I don't know. The newer Angie, she is coming in pretty hot. You can tell that she's aiming for the snowflake as well, in my opinion. So one thing that I was confused about, all these ladies are in an uproar because of Angie's husband creating this troll account to harass Lisa, and they should be, don't get me wrong. But nobody is upset at Lisa for slandering the hell out of Meredith. Nobody. And obviously Meredith is no longer angry either, because later when they were all sitting around and Lisa makes the comment, who's not friends with Lisa? Who's not friends with me? Raise your hands. The only 2 people that raised their hands was Angie H and Heather. The camera panned right to Meredith and she didn't raise her hand. So clearly Meredith is still friends with Lisa Barlow. People are not up in arms about Jen being a con artist. They are trusting to believe her right now. But we are totally outraged with Chris, Angie's husband. And I understand that part because I'm outraged with Chris too. You are 52 years old. A husband, a father, and a professional man out here trolling grown women on Instagram. Angie H, give it up. You know good and damn well your husband created that account. But Jen has every right to be mad at Angie's husband. But you know what? So do these victims who you stole the money from. They have the right to be disgusted with you too, because you are a criminal, ma'am. I'm just saying, December 15th is coming up and you could be getting locked up. I also think that this whole thing would not have happened regarding Heather and Lisa if Heather had not invited Angie H to the ski event and had not made it very clear to Lisa that she didn't think of her when she invited Angie. I think if that had not happened, Lisa would have never went out online and felt that she needed to post her father's obituary out there online to prove her point. Angie sitting on Heather's lap, I was confused about that myself. What the hell was going on with that? I said, what in the middle school is going on? Find yourself somewhere to sit. Jen out there screaming about her innocence. Girl, this is bad. It really is. I don't know how many more episodes we have to go through listening to this woman's innocence. But I did see an interview with Whitney where she said that Jen needs to be held accountable. And after they found out that she did do these crimes and she did plead guilty, they were all extremely upset because they sat with her throughout all of this time listening to her proclaim her innocence. And it even got to a point that Whitney said that she was thinking to herself, oh my gosh, she probably is innocent. only to find out that she is, in fact guilty. Also says that she is aware that Bravo, NBC Universal, and Andy Cohen and everyone have cut ties with her, but she would like for them to be able to sit down together as a cast and give her the opportunity to explain herself. And Andy has said that as well. He would love to have a one-on-one Watch What Happens Live where he can ask her questions or allow her to have her side. But for some reason, I don't know if they're going to be able to make that happen, especially since she hasn't been sentenced yet. And after she's sentenced, she could be remanded right into custody. I'm not sure. Jen continued screaming and hollering that Angie is responsible for her husband's actions. No, ma'am, don't say that, because so far no one has been holding Sharif responsible for your actions, and your actions have been deplorable throughout these last 3 seasons and throughout the years with you stealing from the elderly. You know what I mean? I'm surprised that there hasn't been any repercussions to Sharif's job as well. His wife has been a total embarrassment, and he's got some sort of clause in his employment as well. Speaking of clause and employment, there was a little scene that I'm not even going to talk about with Meredith and her husband in the tub, and it was really cringy and gross. And I thought the same thing. Meredith just told us a few episodes back that Seth has 4,000 employees that answer to him. How can I even look at you in the mornings when you're trying to tell me my job, and I just seen you and your wife in that tub, or I seen the way that you talk about Whitney's boobs, or the way you were licking that cake? That's also very gross and disgusting. And he is, in my opinion, lucky that he did not stand next to Justin on the unemployment line. I'm just saying. Later in the episode, we see Jen and Coach Shaw. And let me tell you, my heart goes out to Coach Shaw, because this man seems like a really nice man and a good husband. And I understand that he wants to protect his wife. I understand that he's upset with Angie's husband, and he has every right to be upset with that man. Like he said, that's a grown ass man. He did not have to do that. And he thinks that Chris should offer them a public apology. And I agree. Chris should go out publicly and apologize, but I don't know if he will do that, considering that Chris also has employers and they're probably side-eyeing him too after this season. Sir, you are a grown man representing our business and you're out here online bullying people. Not cute, not a good look. So I'm not sure if he will or not, but I do think that if him and Angie really are sorry, they should go out online as a couple and make an apology, because she was a part of this. She really was. But I would also like to say, Coach Shaw, I know that you're upset and hurt by what's happening to your wife, but think about all of those hundreds of elderly that are bankrupt because of your wife. How do you think their children, their husbands, their wives feel now that they have been, taken advantage of? They're hurting as well. I don't approve of online bullying at all, for children, for grown-ups, no one, because I agree with Coach Shaw when he says you don't know what's going to be that last comment, that last post, that last tweet that is going to send somebody over the edge. You never know. And we see what happens to people who are bullied either in person or online. And I don't approve of it. I think it's totally wrong. But you have to ask yourself, what about her victims? They're hurting as well. And not only that, if your wife can't take the heat, get the hell out of the kitchen. Turn off your social media and stop socializing with people that you think are out to get you. You didn't have to have this whole blow up and argument with Angie outside of this choir audition. And I don't want to hear Jen talking about somebody assassinating her character. The problem is you have a lack of character. Coach Shaw carries all of the character in your relationship. One thing my mom has always said to me, she can't stand a liar or a thief. And Jen Shaw became both a liar and a thief. Please leave these people the hell alone, Jen. Go sit down somewhere until it's time for your sentencing. I really do like Coach Shaw. I need to put that out there. And every time I see him being so good to this woman, I just think he doesn't deserve this. Lisa did audition away in a manger, honey. She says she's the best singer in their group. Probably. Who cares? Or Angie said that she doesn't miss anything about her friendship with Lisa. That's one thing I do like about Angie. She does have pretty good confessional moments, and so does Jen. I will miss Jen's confessional moments when she's possibly in jail. Jen making that comment about Angie's husband being a fat effing elf on the shelf. Lisa wasn't ready and I wasn't either, but I rewound because I wanted to hear it again. But you know, one thing that threw me for a loop is her talking about Heather being a bad friend. Ma'am, you called that woman Shrek. You said she looked like a whale or something. You have been the worst friend to Heather ever. The fact that you could sit your ass there after you have just acted a fool at this woman's auditions and call her a bitch and then say that she's not a good friend to you, I laugh at you, girl. You are a clown. Paint your face. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. You are the worst friend to her, and she continues to take you back and continues to stand by you when everybody else was saying, oh my God, hands off. Let me call my 6 attorneys. She's guilty. I know. It's layering is what she's doing. This is a telemarketing scheme. She was the only one standing there saying, I don't believe this. She would never do this. You're not going to arrest her, are you? She's my friend. I'm going to stand by her, hands down. Really? Just because she didn't want to blow up with you at Angie at this event? Come on now, back the hell down from this, Jen. All I can say is these women really do need to start being the friend they want to have. That breastfeeding comment in the confessionals was funny as hell. Jen, I appreciated that. Now, when Lisa makes the comment, you know, because Angie tries to give this little apology to Jen, when Lisa makes the comment that Angie's husband created that Finsta just to troll Lisa, they should give Lisa an apology as well. I agree with that. Angie and her husband should also apologize to Lisa. They should definitely do that. Angie had a prime opportunity right there to apologize to Lisa, and she didn't. So I was not pissed off at Lisa for getting upset about that. And Lisa at this restaurant. One thing's for sure, Lisa is going to advertise Vita Tequila. And you know what? I love it. This lady is a businesswoman and she is going to make that money. She is going to let the world know that Vita Tequila is the best. It's top shelf and it is available. I love how when she goes to restaurants for her scenes, it seems that she is making sure that these are restaurants that serve her tequila and she always orders her tequila. I thought that was priceless. I said, you go, girl. She is going to have an infomercial whether you want it or not. Lisa talking to her husband about her sister's marriage. Honey, listen, stop it, Lisa. Okay, nobody is looking at your marriage. She is deflecting, trying to make it look like her and her husband's marriage is perfect. They are together. It's saying, don't look at us. Don't look at us. Girl, stop it. You are throwing red flags. Now, I did think it was really cute to see Lisa and Whitney out playing basketball with their little boys. Lisa eating those hot tamales and drinking that big gulp of Diet Coke. Listen, I want this woman's metabolism. I have no idea how she is not gaining weight. She looks amazing. I need this woman's metabolism. I'm very envious. Whitney reminiscing about Lisa telling her that she dresses very Utah was hilarious. I have not forgotten that and won't. And then the comment that she made about somebody being so petty as to say, who's friends with Lisa Barlow? Raise your hand. Girl, that was you. You are one who said that. So you're the petty one. You are the childish one. Talking about she's embarrassed for those who raise their heads. Girl, Whitney keeps talking to Lisa about Justin firing, saying that he had parted ways with his former employer. Girl, he got fired. Quit saying that. Okay, so Whitney going over to see Heather. I really want you guys to know that I'm exhausted at this point, and I really don't give a damn. I'm tired. It seems to me that Whitney is okay with jeopardizing her relationship, her friendship with Heather, just to be friends with Lisa. You know, she's upset that Heather didn't reach out and call her when she found out about Justin being fired. Heather says that she didn't know that Justin was fired. But at the ski trip, you told her that you needed your distance. If you need your distance, I'm not calling you either. And she had no idea that you were going to show up to the auditions. And when she saw Whitney at the auditions, she thought everything was good, which, you know, she shouldn't have assumed everything was good, but she thought everything was good. You know, it was all over the social media when her husband got let go, fired. But I don't know if I believe that Heather didn't know. But it's possible. I mean, she is opening up a second a location for beauty labs. She's trying to get this choir together. She's, you know, raising children. She is writing this book. So maybe she missed it. I have no idea. You know, I thought about it a little bit too. And I said, you know, Whitney is mad at Heather because Heather didn't reach out to her about Justin being fired. But Heather says she didn't know Justin was fired. Heather is mad at Lisa for not reaching out regarding her father. But Lisa says that she didn't know that her father was on his deathbed or that her father had died. So I think all three of them need to give each other a little bit of grace. Maybe all things are true and that these ladies just didn't know. Heather did admit that she lied, that she got things confused, and that Lisa didn't text her after her father died. One thing that I do notice quite a bit is Whitney got there and she jumped right into the conversation, and it was all I, me. Let Heather be able to speak as well. You know, don't make it all about you, Whitney. That's what you did in Arizona. That's what happened when the weekend was supposed to be about Jen. It turned out to be all about Whitney. Whitney can't be the victim all season. Whitney was upset that Heather didn't reach out. Whitney didn't reach out to Heather either. Listen, there is a disconnect. I love Bad Weather. I would love to see Bad Weather back together. But both of you need to sit down and stop all the screaming and going back and forth. Right now, it seems that they're both thinking about themselves and not thinking about each other and the love that they have for each other and their friendship. And not only that, your family. Just sit down and talk this out without whining. Whitney whines the entire time, makes everything about her. She is the victim of everyone, and she's never done anything wrong. Whitney cannot see any of her wrongdoings. And if you watch the scene back and forth, it's if they're playing victim ping pong. Whitney's the victim, then Heather's the victim. Whitney's the victim, then we're back to Heather being the victim. I'm sick of the both of them. And also, did you notice at the end, Heather kind of pushed Whitney along? And I said, now, Heather, wait a minute. Okay, you pushed her over at the house in Arizona, and then she ended up, you know, pretty much backing herself up into the wall or whatever, but then you just pushed her again. Keep your hands off this woman. Don't touch the lady. You already said goodbye. You went in your room, you shut your door, you came back out. Just tell her to leave with your words. Don't put your hands on the woman. Anyway, you guys, that's all I got. Get down in the comments and let me know what you think. And until next time, bye.